Welcome to DataPencil.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our 50-day SQL practice challenge. Today it's our day 36. Before we begin, a quick note for everyone who is new to this channel. If you want to join this challenge, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. We regularly share registration details for the 50-day SQL challenge and our SQL AI course in our community post. You can also follow our official WhatsApp channel where we share every important updates, resources and announcements. Now, without wasting any more time, let's quickly start with our today's query. And today we are going to see the queries based on a stored procedure. So firstly, let's understand what this stored procedure is all about. So it is basically a saved SQL program, okay, that you can run anytime. So what you are going to do here you are going to save your SQL program, okay, so that there will be no need to write the same code again and again. Whenever you need the code, just call the code by the name, okay, and then simply use it. So suppose your code is something this ABCDEFGHIJK, okay, this is your code. So what you will do, you will write it at once and then you will give this a name, okay. Suppose the name you have given is as code 1. Okay, now whenever you need the same code, what you will do, you will simply call this code by writing it like this, that call, okay, code 1. So call code 1 means you are writing this whole code, okay. I hope it's clear. So let's begin with our stored procedure first query. So the first query is about creating the procedure to get employee data. Why the name is a stored procedure? Stored means we are storing something. Procedure means a set of codes, okay, the procedure that we have to follow to obtain a particular result. So that's why it is called as stored procedure. Okay, now how to get it? So to save this employee data procedure, first of all we have to write delimiter, okay, delimiter and then double. After that, let's write create procedure. After writing the create procedure, we have to write the name of this procedure. Like above one, we have written code 1, right? So here, let's give it a name. So let's give it as get all employee data. Fine. This is the way to write it. Now, okay, this delimiter means what? So it means when we write these two slashes, then consider it as an end. Okay. Now, after giving the name to your procedure, you have to write begin, means now we are writing the code, starting the code. So our code is something, select all the columns from clean employees table, okay, this is it, this is our code. Now we are ending it, so we are applying these two hashes, okay, this is called ending. Now at last we have to mention delimiter again, means this is the end of whole code. Okay, this means this is the end of whole code. This means you have to consider the end of the code when we use these two slashes. So here we are writing end and these two slashes, it means our code is ended. You have to save this code basically. Okay, so this is something that we have to use when we are using MySQL Workbench. Okay, but right now we are on VS Code. Okay, so for here what we have to do, we have to remove these delimiters and just put the colon here. And this will be our complete code. Okay, when you are using MySQL Workbench, then the delimiter should be there. Okay, it's a part of syntax. But when you are on this VS Code, then no need to write the delimiter. Just run it like this, and your stored procedure has been saved. Okay. Now let's call this stored procedure. So how to call? Simply write call. Okay, get all employee data and the colon. This is it. Now let's run it. So here you have your result, means you haven't written this whole code again, you just called this procedure where you have already stored the whole code, and then after calling it you can see that your result is in front of you. Okay, now come to our query 2, and in this query you have to store a procedure with input parameter, means if we want to change the input. So how to do it? So suppose you have to find employee by employee ID. Okay, now let's start to create the procedure. So for that, firstly we have to write create procedure, get employee by ID. Okay, this is our name. Now opening of the parenthesis and write here in means this will be our input. In means input. Okay, what will be the input? So input will be employee ID, and the Data type, then you have to mention, so write here integer because this is the data type of employee ID here. Now let's begin the code that we want to save. So write here select all from our cleaned employees table, where employee ID will be equal to this employee ID. So let's give it a name as employee or EMP. Right here employee ID input. Okay, so where employee ID is equal to employee ID input. This is it. Now write end and put the colon. Now let's run this code and store the procedure. Okay, so here our colon was missing, so let's put one colon. Now run it again and our procedure has been stored. Now let's call it. Okay, so how to call? Suppose we want to see the data for the employee whose ID is 101. So let's write call, and what we have to call, let's copy the procedure name and paste it. Now opening of parenthesis, here we are going to put the input. So what employee ID we want here? So let's write here 101. We want to see the data of employee whose ID is 101. This is it. After running, you can see you have the data of employee whose ID is 101. Now suppose you want to see the data of employee ID is 120. Now run it. And this is the data in front of you. Okay, so this is a way through which we can store the codes, right? And after storing it, we have to give the name, and after giving the name, whenever it's needed, we can simply call it. Okay, like we call our friend whenever we need our friend. So the same way, whenever we need our code, we will simply call it. It's easy, guys. If you are in your beginner phase, then it might be difficult for you, but trust me, once you will do the same thing 4 to 5 times, you will get it. Okay, now come to our query 3, and in this query you have to store the procedure with join. So basically here you have to save the employee and salary details. Okay, employee and salary details. You can give the name as employee salary detail. Okay, there is no input is needed here, just simply store the procedure. Now come to our query number 4th, and in this query what you have to do, store the procedure for salary report. Okay, so here basically you have to generate the report for high salary employees, right? Okay, now here one thing, that high salary will be where the salary is greater than 50,000. We are considering such salaries as high salary. Okay, in this again there is no need to provide the input. It is a simple procedure that you have to store, and then you have to call it. Don't forget to call it. Okay, and after doing this, just take the screenshot as well, all right, and save it in the screenshot folder and upload all your work on GitHub and submit the link via submission form. See you tomorrow with day 37, and tomorrow we are going to see a few more queries. So till then, take care guys, keep practicing. Bye bye.